We have Kate O'Neill here with us in the Lucozade Sports Hub, and she's going to give us some useful tips on how to best prepare for the marathon. Thanks very much for coming, Kate.
No problem.
First and foremost, with a few weeks to go to the Dublin Marathon, what kind of tips can you give our runners to be ready for race day?
You need to reduce the longer runs and then introduce in very little sessions, so just really easy kind of marathon pace runs. Other than that, it's just kind of carbo loading, getting your proteins in, your nutrition.
One thing I'm sure is difficult for runners is setting and tracking time. What recommendations would you give them so they can do this effectively?
Well, at this stage, a lot of the runners should have a good idea of what kind of pace they should be doing. If not, there's other mechanisms such as using the Garmin, which is a watch or a device that tells you what pace you're running. There's the other option then of having the pacers throughout the marathon telling you where exactly you're at, so whether you're aiming for the 2.5 hours, the 3 hours, you can kind of hold on to the paces up front, and that'll give you a good idea where you're at.
On the day of the Dublin Marathon, what should runners be focusing on before the race?
Well, the biggest thing I'd suggest would be not to try anything new. I'd suggest getting up plenty of time in advance, so give yourself at least 2.5 hours the morning of the race. Maybe throw on the running gear and do a 10-minute easy run. Then come back and do a few stretches if you feel that you're a little bit stiff. After that, then take on your food, take on the normal breakfast that you'd have on a day-to-day basis. And then just have your gear ready to go the night before and you're good to go, I suppose.
During the Dublin Marathon, there's obviously various different challenges runners are going to face. What kind of tips can you give that will help them reach the finish line?
Okay, well, I think the biggest thing for most of the runners out there is the dreaded wall that they may hit. That's generally around the 20-mile mark. To get over that, they need to focus on hydrating throughout the race, taking on their gels if they've practiced that in training. Also, just to pace themselves correctly. If they don't pace themselves right, they're going to suffer towards the end. And if they do hit the wall, just to distract themselves by focusing on somebody in front of them or maybe taking in the atmosphere. So it's just taking your mind off the pain as such and just trying to push on through and aim for the finish line.
When the race is finished, what do you recommend people do to aid a speedy recovery?
What I'd suggest post-marathon is give your body a few days to relax and let the aches and pains ease out, and then maybe about 3 to 4 days after start getting treatments, very gentle massages to flush out any soreness. Take 2 to 3 weeks off to allow the body to recover fully, because the marathon takes a lot out of you.